Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Dre the Gamer right here. Welcome back to another stream. Today, everyone, we are once again playing some Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and today we are at our native airport, which is Dillon Hopkins in Keene, New Hampshire. You can see the marker right there. We are going to be flying this SAAB 340 to LaGuardia. It is so this is kind of a historical flight because they actually did operate SAAB 340s out of Dillon Hopkins back in the 80s and 90s. They would operate these out of here to Boston and LaGuardia. Maybe not LaGuardia, but if for a while you could fly to LaGuardia from here and to Boston and Manchester for the longest time. So this is kind of a historical flight. In the meantime, doing a cold and dark startup. So we're going to remove the engine covers. Let's remove the chocks. So it is. I do like how this plane looks. Honestly, it's a cool looking plane. Seeing as it, is that? It looks a lot like a jet, honestly. Like it looks a lot like an Embraer, but it's a turboprop. So that's kind of what I like about it. Okay, tires are good. Engine cover's good. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't walk through it, obviously. So we are at the terminal here. Right flap, condition new. Alright, everything looks good from the outside. So this is going to be like a cold and dark startup. It is evening starting, like late afternoon, early evening. But let's hop in and... Okay, I guess I just... okay. So the stairs come out automatically. Alrighty. So inside the plane, got a hot co-pilot. Nice. Take a peek here at the basic controls. Alright, aircraft, checklists. Alright. Check condition. Okay, so everything is good from the outside. Okay, whoops. Where's the battery switch? I believe that would be up here. Good from the outside. Okay, audio is good. Alright, just looking for the battery switch. Is there a way where it like highlights it? Because yeah, I really can't figure this out. EP roll. Okay, let's try and find it. Checklists. Okay, I hit the little eye. Alright, that's done. Engine bleed must be set to on. Okay, those are both on. So that's done. Toggle essential avionics. Okay. Turn on the avionics. Parking brake is set. Okay, we're good there. Okay. Let's turn on the no smoking signs. Ignitions are off. Alright, we got enough fuel. Make sure the hydraulics are on. Okay, I believe we're good there. Set the cabin pressure for Let's pressure the cabin for, I don't know. Let's do, I guess, you know, I guess 4,500. I guess that's the max it lets it go to. We're not going to be flying super high for this flight anyway. Okay. Power levers are at idle. Set the target cabin altitude. I guess 45 is the highest it'll go. They are set at the cutoff. Trims are... They look good. Okay, so I'd say they're all good. Speed bugs. Aha. Okay, there we go. Alright, starting the engine. Beacon switch must be set to on. Oh, high. Let's turn on the lights. So I got the strobe. Alright, we'll turn on the taxi lights. Alright, I'm going to assume the doors are closed. Bus tie. Connected. I don't know what bus tie means, but left, right, avionics off. Voltmeter. Okay, it's in the green, so that's good. Starter. So starter. Right. So, okay, start the right engine first. To the minimum RPM position. Okay, so let's move that up. Okay, so start. Okay, it's in the right position. Alright, set it. Okay, so it's set for norm. Oh. Okay. Now we got to repeat the process for... Okay. Okay, I hear it's starting up. Yep, engine 2 is firing up. Okay, yep. Yeah, let's get a... Alright, the engines are starting up. Passengers have boarded. Alright, it takes its time to start, but they are starting up. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so I need the turn on auto Corson switch, so generators must be on. They're on. Let's turn on the avionics. Alright, I can't turn that on.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation.
Okay.
0000 Zulu. Wind calm.
Condition levers must be
High condition clear.
fully pushed.
Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 29902.
So we're giving them some fuel now. Okay, the revs are building up.
Kilo Echo Echo November
Alright, on.
automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature 15 dew point.
Alright, engines are revving up now. So Alright, engine 2 is spinning faster, but it's also because it was the first one started, so it does take some time.
0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature
Alright, the idle is around, I believe, 1500 on this, but I could be wrong. Turboprops, they do need, you know, compression.
Kilo Echo Echo automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear.
All caution lights are extinguished.
15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Look at, okay. Alright, we're good there. Alright, I'd say we're good to go. Just let the engine warm up. Engine 2 is taking its time to warm up for some reason. Alright, engine TM, what is that? TM.
Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Okay, yeah, for whatever reason, engine 1 is spinning slower than the first engine. I need to figure that out.
Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Let's adjust the time just a little bit so we have a nice sunset going.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er.
Want to get a good sunset going, so.
Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Alright, let's do 1800. Okay. Alright, passengers aborted. I don't know, why is it not starting?
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
What's con to? Cont? Okay, I don't know what that means.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0100 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility
Okay, it's building now. For whatever reason, it wasn't starting.
Temperature 15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Alright, I'm hearing it kicking on. Okay, we don't need the Weber.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0100 Zulu. Wind calm.
Alright, so the idle is around 1000 RPM.
High condition clear.
Alright, let's turn off the starter.
15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Now the engine 1 is revving higher than the second engine. I just don't get that.
0100 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er.
Alright, let's see what kind of cool cameras we have. Just curious, really.
15 dew point 1 trees altimeter 2
Alright, yeah, we got some good camera options on this plane. This plane is a FS24 native, so I picked this up on the store.
Wind calm. Visibility 9er.
Okay, so cold and dark.
Temperature
Took about 15 minutes, give or take, just under. And this is the first time I've done a cold and dark like this. Okay, so the RPMs have stabilized.
Wind calm. Visibility 9er.
Let's do.
Condition clear. Temperature
Let's just do a quick tour of the cabin.
2
No, okay, I want to do quick view.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0100.
I'm just gonna reset the position to.
Visibility 9er. High condition clear.
Okay, I'm gonna do external and let's do showcase. Okay, yeah, great. So we got the drone.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 0100.
Let's just check out the interior on this thing.
Visibility 9er. High condition clear. Temperature 15 dew
Alright,
point
oh my
1
god,
trees
yeah, I need to I'm gonna tune Keene traffic. Alright. Alright, we're doing runway 20. Alright, so let's just get a good showcase of the plane. Yeah, the drone can be kind of tricky at times, but... See, like, again, like, see, this is the problem. Is the speed is just too damn high. Okay, let's tune... Nope, that's not it. Drone... And let's do drone speed to like, okay, it can't be 0 obviously, but let's do like 8. But this is basically what the plane looks like. This is basically the interior of it. So that's, you know, the entry door. That's where the flight attendant would sit. Very small galley. They're probably serving like, you know, peanuts and cans of soda. That's probably it, really, just peanuts or pretzels. So we have like free row, we have free by free seating, and the last row we actually have 4, and then we have the tail. So we are flying Rex Airways, which is an Australian airline. It was either this or the plain white livery. I know it's a bit unrealistic because Rex would never operate out of Keene. But this is a historical flight in the aspect of there used to be regular SAAB 340s flying in and out of Keene to LaGuardia, Boston, and Manchester, New Hampshire. So it's this was a common sight in the 80s and 90s. And in the 60s and 70s, there were actually jets flying here, believe it or not. I mean, they weren't 747s; they were just little DC-9s. But still, yeah, Keene definitely has some rich history. Anyways, this is Keene Airport. So we have 2 runways. Looks like we're using runway 20, the longer one. This is Keene, New Hampshire. We'll do a good pass over the city of Keene on our way out of here. Oh, there's a lake there. I never know. Actually, I didn't know about the lake. Alright, this is Keene. And then there's Swayze to the south of us. Let's just check out Swayze, honestly. I've never really set the drone speed. Let's... I know it's just like, oh, that's it, really? It's a little, like, town, basically. Yeah, this is it. Looks like there's, like, a school, a roundabout. That looks like it's it, basically. Alright, meantime, let's announce. Alright, we do have a tug. Let's see if we can get a pushback. To announce taxi to ground services. Let's get a pushback.
Traffic, SAAB Charlie Foxtrot, Kilo Bravo Papa, requesting pushback. SAAB Charlie Foxtrot, Kilo Bravo Papa, pushback request accepted.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Why did that? Okay, we just drove into the tug. Let's see what it does. It's doing weird shit, honestly. And all I did was just turn off the parking brake. Okay, turned off the parking brake. Now we're moving again. Alright, great. What is it doing? What in the fuck? What in tarmation? I guess it's turning us around. Alright, let's ask it to stop. Whoa, we had a bit of a frame dip. Okay, yeah, so I guess this plane doesn't really work well with the pushback tugs. Alright, in the meantime, let's taxi to... What is it having me look at? Alright, we're good to go. Alright, let's turn off the parking brake and we will taxi. So yeah, apparently this thing makes so much trails that with the parking brake off, you automatically taxi. Okay, and it doesn't want to steer for whatever reason. Just the nose gear not working. Okay, that's news to me. I mean, the foot brake works. What is it doing? Is it now not... Oh, God, I think it's not... For whatever reason, it doesn't want to work with my flight stick. Because I'm moving it, and the controls aren't moving. Oh, that's weird. Let's just see what's going on outside. Yeah, nothing out of the flight stick, so... I believe we just need to... I believe it's just a controls thing. Okay. Should be good now. Nope, still nothing. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Still nothing? I mean, it acknowledges my controls. So the buttons are working. Great, now this is going to be a problem. Alright, I guess we're going to have to restart the flight, maybe. This is unfortunate, obviously. So it acknowledges the throttle. Well, let's just see what we can do with the controls. POTUS T4. What is axis Z? I don't get that. Ah, okay, that's the throttle axis. Axis X, that would be the... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, what if we just... Yeah, I don't know what is it. What is the issue now? Okay, none. Let's see if this works, but... Okay, let's just... Yeah, let's just restart then. Okay. Might edit this out later, I don't know. Let's do Keene. Runway 20, arrival. KLGA, so LaGuardia. Okay, let's hope this works. Could be a bug, I honestly don't know. Still, we've been going for like 30 minutes. We're not even in the air yet. Alright, we're good now. Alright, engines are spooling up, so we'll give them a minute. Alright, we'll have a nice sunset. We'll have like a nice early evening flight into New York. So, ailerons are good. Rudder is good. Alright, we should be good to go. Let's just do a quick check in the cockpit. Alright, okay. Alright, seatbelt lights are on. Let's set up the autopilot, but I honestly barely know. Let's do nav, altitude. Yeah, this is, I don't know, maybe I'll just not bother with the autopilot. I don't know, what do you guys think I should do? Alright, let's cruise at like 15,000 feet. Maybe not. Maybe 10,000 would work. I don't know. I'll just Google it. You know, we're trying to make this as realistic as we can. So, I'm just going to Google SAAB 340 cruising altitude. Cruise altitude is about 14,000 feet. So, yeah, we'll do like 15. Do nav, we'll do heading. We'll do vertical speed on, we'll do climb. Oh shit, no, damn it, that's... Okay, set it for like 15,000 feet. We don't need to get super high up because this isn't going to be a very long flight. So I think 15,000 is fine. Nav. Let's turn on the flight director. Let's do the elapsed. And then where's the actual autopilot button? Flight director on. Yeah, alright. I legitimately can't figure out how to use the... Where's the master autopilot button? It's usually like somewhere here, but it's not. Is it here maybe? But I'll just look at the checklist. Okay, in flight, after takeoff. Okay, so it's not even showing any of that. It's like... So there's no autopilot function, really. At least it's not showing me. It has, like, altitude hold. I guess I'll just fly manual, obviously. Flaps. Let's get some flaps here. Let's do... Okay, let's do... Why does the fucking flaps not want to work? Alright, let's do 25% flaps. Let's do a little bit more. Alright, let's do... Oh, okay. Let's do a in-cabin takeoff, I guess. I've flown over Keene many, many times, so we've already seen pretty much everything there is to see. And I'm trying to make this as, like, realistic as possible. I'm normally not known for realism. I'm just going to look it up. Autopilot MSFS 2024. Shift 6 panel. So shift plus 6. Enable master AP located on the center console pedestal. Okay. So it's somewhere here. Yeah, alright, yeah, I really don't know, but alright, I'll figure it out. Let's do shift 6, so CTOT. Autopilot yaw damper. Okay, there it is. Now I found it. It's right next to me and I didn't even see it. There it is. Oh, we got a book there. That's nice. Meantime, okay, we have the altitude set. We're not going to use heading. We'll use just nav mode. Climb mode, indicated airspeed, altitude hold. Nope, don't want that. Nav mode is on. Okay, alright, let's say we're ready to rock and roll. Just gonna announce our takeoff to the to Keene traffic. Announce takeoff. Hello, get X-Plane 12. Cool. I honestly didn't know there was an X-Plane 12, but I'll definitely look into that. I know there's like a lot more planes available. It's a lot more like easier to modify compared to Flight Sim. That's what I heard, but thank you for that, Jason. I will look into X-Plane 12. I know of X-Plane 11. Never played X-Plane, but I know there's like a lot more planes and a lot more you can choose from. Never played it, honestly. I've just played FS-24, FS-20, FSX, and Infinite Flight. Meantime, let's turn off the parking brake and let's get on our way. Alright, trim's a bit off, but that's okay. Alright, we got half throttle, and we're building speed perfectly, honestly. And we only got half throttle. Do like 3/4 throttle. Alright. Alright, V1. Oh. Okay. Alright, got V1. Alright, gear up. Alright, I'm not sure what's going on there. Just the gear going up, or... what is it complaining about? I honestly can't figure that out. Alright, gear is up. Okay, I need to, some kind of a... okay. Alright, meantime, let's engage the autopilot. Let's see, alright. Autopilot is working. Alright, let's see how well this autopilot really works. Is the gear down? What? Okay, damn it. Okay, yeah, the landing gear is doing something weird. No. So I put the gear up. It fucking cries. The fuck is your problem, man? Okay, yeah, we're having a bit of a situation here with the landing gear. Is there like a master warning? But no, I mean, it's not really... oh my god, that is fucking annoying. Alright, I'm gonna have to look at the fucking checklist for this, honestly. After takeoff, landing gear must be retracted. Great, landing gear is up. Alright, I'm gonna have to Google this. SAAB autopilot. Landing gear. FS-24. The SAAB is experiencing premature landing gear damage, persistent... okay, what are you... oh, okay, something's going on here. What is going on here? Okay, this is, okay, and it's climbing way too steep. Not sure why it's doing that. Great. All right. Let's autopilot off. Oh, shit. That's not good. Okay. Flaps. Okay, now I see the problem. Whoa. Oh, shit. We're stalling. All right. Here we go. All right. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, autopilot decided to stall us out. All right. Yep. This wasn't part of the plan, but... All right. Recovered that. Good thing we had the seatbelt signs on. The trim is... Okay, the trim is fucked up. So the trim, for whatever reason, the trim is doing whatever it's doing. But we did climb up to like 9,000 feet fairly quickly. And that's why it stalled for, you know, obvious reasons. Okay, landing gears up. Okay, let's turn on the... So, okay, now I see the problem with the... So, well, okay. Alright, let's try the autopilot again. Yeah, so apparently you have to put the flaps up. When you put the gear up, you have to put the flaps up, which is cool. I'm not sure, would you put the flaps away right away? Because I leave the flaps for a little bit after takeoff. I don't put it up, like, immediately after. Because you still want, you know... But, back up to now 10,000 feet. And looks like it's getting us back on course. Yeah, we came from down there, and now we're up here. Basically did one big loop, almost stalled. Stalled and spun. But, that was a good save. We're climbing at like 6,000 feet per minute, so it's climbing fairly aggressively. You know, 3% angle of attack, which is... Yep, and now it's stalling, but okay, now it corrected itself. So that's the thing, it knew... So this time, it knew that it was approaching the stall, and it backed off. And you see, yep, it did it again. It knows it knows it's stalling, it backs off. For whatever reason, the first time it didn't. It just stalled, and it spun out, and I had to catch that. But this is a semi-realistic flight. Alright, we have now reached our... But I will say this, we did reach our cruising altitude very quickly. So, now left Dillon Hopkins, which is like right below us. We're only 3 miles away from it, and we're already up to our cruising altitude of 15,000 feet. Flight level 150. Meantime, let's get back in the cockpit. So we're just getting on course. Once we're on course, I'll turn off the seatbelt sign. And people can roam. I got some, today's snack is these rice crunch snacks. Some kind of Korean. They're basically like, they're kind of like caramel popcorn, I feel like. They're like caramel flavored. And I guess they're like rice made. Chippy, like kind of like rice fries, I guess you could say. They're Korean. They were on sale at Wally World, so pick some up. Alright. Alright, let's alright, we can cut back on the throttle a bit. Airspeed is high. Not really in a rush, so we don't have to go super quick. This is a good evening flight into New York. I really want to get the sunset. On our way into NYC. I'm guessing we are now over Massachusetts, Winchester, Massachusetts. Yeah, we're now rapidly leaving Keene. Turner's Falls is, yeah, we're like right on the New Hampshire-Mass border. Turner's Falls is about like 12 miles away from us. So Turner's Falls is in Massachusetts. Now Winchester, I'm guessing, was like right below us. I'm just going to Google it. It sounds like a name of a city in Massachusetts, I'm guessing. Yep, we're in Mass. Winchester, Massachusetts in Middlesex County. Oh no, wrong, Winchester. Apparently there's a Winchester. This is the Winchester in Boston. In the Boston area. Northfield. Town of Northfield. Yeah, I can't tell. Are we in Mass yet or not? There is a Northfield in Vermont, but we're not in... Yep, we are now in Massachusetts. Northfield, Massachusetts. So yeah, we're going to be... Now, Turner's Falls is coming up next. Turner's Falls is also part of like the Greenfield metropolitan area. We're probably going to pass over Springfield, Northampton, then into Connecticut, and then across the Long Island Sound into LaGuardia. I think that's the plan at least. Announce position. Oh shit, no, I do not want to touch and go. No, not... Okay, never mind that. I'm gonna tune New York soon. Now there's Orange, Mass. I've driven through Orange, Mass. I've driven through this whole area basically. Drove through Turner's Falls, Greenfield. I've been through Bernardstown. I drove right by the Orange Airport there, which is like 9 miles to the east. I drove through there. I've driven through all this place, so that's kind of the cool part. I get to see it from the air. So let's just look at the map. So I hit the little phone. Let's look at the map here. Yep. Looks like... Yeah, just how I thought. So basically Massachusetts, Connecticut, and then into LaGuardia. So not across the Long Island Sound like I thought it would. Meantime, we can turn off the seatbelt sign. I am going to keep the smoking sign on. I did turn it off on the Spirit flight, and it pretty much just turned into a Cheech and Chong hotbox. So we were all just stoned as fuck on that flight. When I turned off, like all the YNs, they pulled out their ganja, they pulled out the dope pens, and yeah, we got pretty boned up on that flight. But alright, we got a good, so let's just look at the approximate time till, does it say that? Alright, where's that? Alright, we're about a quarter way there. So, it should be about a 40-minute flight, I'm guessing. Alright, now we're in South Deerfield, Mass. This is the Connecticut River. And 11 miles away is Northampton, which is basically Springfield. It's basically Springfield. And it's it's right around 10 miles away now. So we are making some good progress. Keene, as you can barely see Keene on the horizon. And you can also see I-91, I believe, right below us. We're passing right over it. I believe that's I-91. And yeah, again, I've driven on this. Coming back from Springfield, I took I-91 up. And we went through the mountains there for that Pioneer Valley. It was a scenic drive. That was about 3 years ago. Alright. So Northampton is like a little bit north Springfield, but it's part of that Springfield metro area. That over there is Holyoke, where the airport is. Holyoke is crack central, so I wouldn't go there. Oh shit, I got shit falling off my table. Alright. So, Williamsburg. There's a Williamsburg in Brooklyn, actually. Alright, Northampton. I saw Les Claypool and the Frog Brigade in Northampton 3 years ago. We made it like 2 songs, and it started raining and thundering, and they canceled the shit, so then we went back to our motel room. And, Springfield doesn't have a huge nightlife, but I heard Westfield does, and Westfield is, like, west of Springfield, obviously. You pass it on your way to Springfield if you take I-90. But I would like to check out some of the clubs in Westfield. Like, there's a couple. We have, like, Albany, we don't have anything. Saratoga, a couple of clubs, but, like, there's only, like, I don't even know if they technically constitute a real club. You know, there's one that's like an underground, and that one is obviously nightclub. Then there's one called City Tavern, which is basically a 4-story building. 2 levels are bars, and then 1 level is a nightclub, and then 1 level, well, then by nightclub I mean it's a bar. There's like a bar, and then there's mostly a dance floor. So you go on the 3rd floor to dance. You go on the 4th floor to dance. The 3rd floor is for private events only, and in the summer they have the rooftop. I haven't been there in a minute, but I don't know if that technically counts as a nightclub. Then we have another one that is, I'd say that's the best thing we have in the Capital District. All right, there's Westfield Barnes Regional, and then there's Westover Air Force Base Metropolitan. All right, we got East Hampton and Southampton. So Northampton, East Hampton, Southampton. No West Hampton, I take it. And pretty soon we'll be in Connecticut. But yeah, you can see the river, basically, the Connecticut River. Alright, let's get some music, though. Alright.
Flights, hotels, cars.
It's cold out here and I feel lonely. I know the time can move so slowly, and in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick.
Not a bad song.
So many times they try to change me, and every time it drives me crazy.
Granville, we got a town in New York called that. I believe we might be in Connecticut now. Let me look it up. Alright, we're still actually in Massachusetts. It's in Southwick, Mass. That Ken Azzaro Field. I'm guessing it's a dirt strip. Yeah, it's probably a dirt strip or a grass strip. Maybe we're actually going into New York, not really so much through Connecticut. Yeah, maybe just a bit of Connecticut. I'm not sure. I can't see the exact border.
No sleep, no sleep. I've been up in my bed. Oh, let me know if you feel the same. If you're playing the game where you say my name. I can read your eyes.
Yeah, I can't really tell.
Got me hypnotized. Oh, you
That is Vermont to my northwest.
is it all tonight.
I believe that's the Harriman Reservoir.
I chase 'cause you slip in my head.
You can barely see Somerset back there. Maybe, I don't even think you can see it at all.
And I want you to know that I can't get one night without you.
Alright, we got a town of Riverton, located in some river valley.
And I want you to know that I can't get one night without you.
Yeah, we're in Connecticut now. Yeah, we are now in Connecticut. We're not going through Hartford, so that's good. Hartford's the fucking hood, and I got ops out there, so we ain't going there.
Your voice in the dark, oh,
We're passing right by it. But now we're in Connecticut.
too deep, too soon. Got me stuck on the way that you move.
Lights on.
I didn't understand you.
Morning. Hello.
Instead of building new ways for machines to talk to people,
Enjoy.
Chase is building new places for people to talk to people.
Alright. Alright, cool. Will we have a sunset? I really want a sunset into New York.
Okay.
You can actually see the ocean, well, the Long Island Sound. You can see it there in the distance. And you can maybe just barely see the ocean behind it.
Okay.
All right, we got Waterbury, Connecticut. Yeah, these are some good songs and they're copyright free, so hopefully I don't get a copyright strike.
Okay.
These are like, this is like house. This isn't like rave, this is like house music. This is more like chill music, not like dancing. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's get back in the cockpit. It's a little quieter in there. Yeah, the autopilot works pretty well in this.
I'm sitting on your bed up in the sheets again. You look so pretty going down on me. You're so high, you think it's true love.
right.
The 2026 Chevy Equinox is ready for your daily drives, weekend getaways, and everything in between. Plenty of cargo space, plus a big touchscreen that keeps all your tech right where you need it. It's more than an SUV. It's your Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Grainger offers professional-grade products, easy reordering online, and
all right.
24/7 support, helping procurement managers keep buildings running so people can keep working. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, making some excellent progress. All right, so coming into New York, you can't see it just yet, but you can see where the sound ends, basically. Meantime, let's tune New York Center, and okay, I want to back. Let's tune New York Center. Tune center on 1. Skip flight following. All right, we have a flight following. All right, so it's Logan. So Squawk 2276. Acknowledge radar contact. Okay. Meantime, let's yeah. Let's do nearest airport list and Danbury. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're not too far from Danbury then. Okay. Nope, none of these places. Nope. Shit back. Yeah, it's all airports in Connecticut, basically. Alright, Hudson Valley Regional. Let's just keep an eye on this and see, really. But Hudson Valley Regional. That's already in New York, so fairly soon I will tune. Alright, I can tune Westchester already, so I'm going to tune. LaGuardia should come up soon. Oh, what's up below us? That is Danbury Municipal. Okay, we're now over Danbury, Connecticut. So we are not that far at all. Not far from Yale either, by the looks of it. Okay, and you can't see New York yet, but you can see where the rivers meet and the ocean. So you can't see it just yet, but you can see it. Meantime, let's move the time up just a little bit. So I want to get a good sunset. Okay, that is close.
Call of the Wild Money.
That is close. So we should have a good sunset into New York.
That's an internet.
Okay. This is good. This is one of my favorites. So let's see what we got here. I am going to start my descent. Westchester County's already, yeah, we're getting close. So in the meantime, let's start our descent. Let's go down to 10,000 feet. Let's go down to 10,000 feet. All right, I am going to put the seatbelt sign back on as we are now heading into New York. Set down. All right, it's not even showing up yet. Meantime, let's all right, we are descending slowly. Okay, there we go. LaGuardia, KLGA, Toon Tower. Press full stop landing. All right, so we are making our descent. I am going to cut back on the throttle. We are now on Long Island. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're still in Connecticut. I'm bugging. That was, okay. Let's turn the music down a bit. I gotta focus here. All right, we're passing over Greenwich. Well, Greenwich is down there. Westchester County is acknowledged pattern of instructions. Okay, I can't say I'm gonna get it right, honestly, but I'll... Okay, request airport direction. So we are... How far are we from... 20 miles, 7 o'clock, 20 miles. Okay. So 7 o'clock, 20 miles away. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we actually have the autopilot has a straight in approach basically into LaGuardia, so that is good. This is a good song. I'm going to save this to my watch later. I quite like it, actually. It's just, I really, please give me a sunset, you know, okay. I believe we're now in New York. Yeah, we're in New York now, yep. Or we're at least like somewhere right on the border. This is like all the border somewhere.
Wholesale theater store works around your schedule. Restock Sunday night from your couch. Reorder your bestsellers or 20.
Let's get some like.
There's always open anytime, anywhere.
There we
Your
go.
one-stop
Yes.
shop for wholesale. Visit fair.com.
Okay, now we got a good sunset on our approach into New York. All right, let's keep our descent going to. Let's get down to 75 flight level 0, or no, yeah, you wouldn't say that. Yeah, so let's get down to 7,500 feet. All right, so I believe it has me lined up straight for the airport, but I really can't tell from this angle. Really can't tell, so I'm just gonna have to. I don't think the cockpit is gonna give you really. No, it's not. Okay, what is it doing? Why are we banking? Okay, it's doing something weird here. Whoa, okay, what in tarmation? Okay, yeah, so the autopilot is doing something weird. Apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen, but... yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. And now we are getting choppy frames. Alright, we're now over White Plains, Hartsdale, New York. Alright, so, yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Alright, New Rochelle is just to the south of us. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. That was weird. I simply put in, so I guess after all, this is Scarsdale. Okay, that's not far from us. So this is a aftermarket plane. This is like it is a, I believe it's a native. I picked it up on the store, but I guess even like native airplanes are still gonna have some bugs. So I mean, I guess that explains the issues we had earlier with the autopilot stalling and spinning us out, and now this. Meantime, though, we are descending, so we're doing well. I don't know why the autopilot is doing that, because I would think that it was, you know, already off. Okay. Alright. Alright, engines are at idle, so we're saving some fuel. Alright, Mount Vernon. Okay, we're almost in New York. You can see, I believe you can see the Empire State Building from there. I believe that is the Empire State Building. New York. I don't know. I literally, I don't know that song, honestly. All I know is just like New York, and who sang that song anyway? It was like New York song. It was like Jay-Z or...
Spring smells amazing.
Yeah, I believe Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. Yep. I would play it. You know, fuck it. We're going to play it. I don't care if we get copyrighted. Fuck it. We're playing Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. Alright, bet. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra.
Alright, we are coming up on final. I don't see the airport yet, but I can just tell by the VFR. Okay. I'm gonna request airport direction. Okay, LaGuardia is 7 miles away. It's 7 miles out. We are at 3,700 feet and descending. How do I get landing clearance? I believe it should give me clearance at least. Yo! Alright. Oh no, that's A-Free. Follow A-Free 20 on final. Alright. Okay, acknowledge landing clearance. Yeah, I don't know this song that well. But it's Jay-Z and I don't know who the girl is. Alright, so we're following an A-Free 20 on final.
Catch me at the X with OG at a Yankee game. That made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee king.
Alright, so we have clearance to land. We're supposed to follow an A-Free 20, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. Okay, there's runway 22. Let's give it some throttle. So it's like 11 o'clock. It's at my 11 o'clock, I believe. Let's just check what. Yep, 11 o'clock, 7 miles. Let's get some flaps. Lord, please give me flaps. Alright, just landing gear down. Whoa, okay. Alright, we got flaps 15. Let's cut back on the throttle here. We have a fair amount of lift. Alright, we're at 1,700 feet. Let's do flaps full. Okay.
Lights is blinding, girls need blinders so they could step out of bounds quick. The sidelines is lined with casualties who sip the life casually, then gradually become worse. Don't fight the apple eve, caught up in the in crowd. Now you're in
gear is down.
The winter gets cold, in vogue with your skin
1,100
out.
feet. Okay, we're coming in a bit steep.
Good girls going bad, the city's filled with them. Mommy took a bus
we're a bit off center, there's no doubt.
Everybody ride her just like a bus route. Hail Mary to the
yeah, alright, we're gonna have to request to go around. Maybe not, I guess. Yeah, alright, we're gonna need to go around. Yeah, we're just not gonna make that. Alright, let's put the flaps back up. Cancellation is received. Alright, we're gonna have to do a go around. Alright. Runway first. Okay, that's just ATC. We're gonna have to do a go around on that. Our flaps should be going up. Oh my god, it is so choppy. The fucking frames are horrible. But I guess, yeah, in New York, it's just look how much stuff it has to load. Alright, but this is New York, so we're over probably Queens. Yeah, this is probably Queens. I believe this is the Bronx, and then to down there is Manhattan. Yeah, this is a very nice sunset. Nearest airport list. It's tuned. Request full stop landing. Alright, we're 1,600 feet, 3 miles west. Yeah, no, I had a really good alignment. I was really set up, and then it just kind of, I guess it wasn't paying attention. It was also just the looking, and then yeah, moving too fast basically.
Have you heading for Texas's Big Bend National Park or some small
okay, meantime, I am gonna turn the music off because it's just yeah, no, I mean I'm all for listening to Jay-Z, but I guess the music was a bit too distracting as well. But yeah, it was one of the best songs from the 2000s, in my opinion. From 2009, that was. And as far as I remember, 2009 was a good time to be alive. Alright, we're doing 180 knots. We should. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a good lineup going. Whoa. Okay, let's not do anything too crazy here. Let's get back in the cockpit. So honestly, the problem is I was just too high. Too fast and too high, that was the problem. I could have nosedived, but obviously I'm a professional. So I'm really trying to, really trying to do the best I can here. Yeah, we're over probably New Rochelle now, Yonkers. I think we're just out of the city. But, okay, so airport is Probably at my 3 o'clock, I'm gonna guess. Actually, we can slow down a bit. I just need to get a visual for the airport as to see where. Okay, let's do. Let's just request airport direction.
Tower, SAAB Charlie Foxtrot Kilo Bravo Papa is unfamiliar with the area. Request directions to the airport.
SAAB Kilo Bravo Papa. Airport is 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 5 miles. Okay. Okay, so I got a good idea then of where I'm going. Okay, there it is.
SAAB Kilo Bravo Papa. Follow the Boeing 737 on final.
Alright, we're following a 737 now, not... We're following a 737 now. Whoa, oh my god, what in the... It really threw me up there for a second. Meantime, okay. Alright, coming in. Alright, gear down. Yes. Okay, we have clearance to land. We're following the 737. Alright, we're 2 miles out. Okay, the reverse thrusters don't want to work, but that's fine. Alright, we have flaps full. Flaps full, 1,700 feet. Okay, yeah, it is throwing me up. It's like it's like I have too much lift. It's like it doesn't want to go down. I think the trim is fucked up for some reason, but... And again, it's like we're coming in a bit too fast, but I think we should be able to make this one. We have plenty of room for air. It'll probably be a short final. But the advantage of these smaller planes is they're more nimble. Okay. Okay, what are you crying about? Okay, the gear is down, man. The gear is down, flaps are down. Okay. It's probably my speed coming in a little too fast, honestly.
300 minimums. 200.
Alright, let's cut back on the throttle, though. It might be slightly off-center. 100. Yeah, we're slightly off-center, but it's fine. Okay, not terrible. Okay, the reverse thrusters don't want to work, but that's fine. The foot brake will slow us down. Whoa, shit! Where the fuck did he come from? That was not supposed to happen. I think we might have clipped his wing, but I reckon we're fine. Yeah, the foot brake isn't really slowing me down. It's barely doing anything, honestly. I don't know why that is. But the parking brake does. There we go. You just hit the parking brake. And you come to a stop. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, my controls, my reverse thrusters weren't working. Which is fine. You don't really need reverse thrusters on a plane like this. The foot brake should suffice, but the foot brake isn't really working. I had problems with my controls before I even left Keene. As a whole, though, it was a nice evening flight into... Okay, and that turn was way too wide because, again, the fucking foot brake isn't working. Contact ground on... Okay, we might have taken out some of the lights, but it's fine. Yes, I guess we're gonna just have to use the parking brake to come to you know, control the fucking thing. Alright, 13175, okay. Let's request taxi to the gates. Alright, we're gonna taxi to the gates. Okay, I'm just gonna follow the line. Alright. Okay, yep. Okay, I guess we're going that way. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The foot brake doesn't want to... Is it B? No, it's not B. Yeah, I just have to use the parking brake, really. It's not very comfortable for anybody, but hey, it stops you. And the propellers have enough thrust to the point where... they have so much thrust to the point where it can just basically taxi on its own. Alright. Alright, go back to clearance. We're not going to need ground services just yet. This was about an hour and a half of a flight. Yeah, maybe like a little under an hour, really, but... Okay, yeah. Alright, I guess we're going to turn. Yeah, not sure why that plane was taken off. 'Cause I had clearance to land. I literally had clearance to land, and he was taken off. I'm not even sure if that was actually another player, if that was an AI. I'm actually not sure about that. But I literally had clearance. Alright. I could see myself doing more of these, like, commuter flights in the SAAB 340. I could see me doing that. Like, maybe like, I don't know, Boston to Rutland, Boston to Burlington. Because that's the kind of planes they would operate. They would operate something small like this, or like an Embraer, or maybe an MD, or maybe like a Bombardier, but they're not, you know, they're not sending out 747s, obviously, for these kinds of... And they are easier to fly, obviously. It's definitely more agile. It's just the issues with the controls, but I think that's more of like a hardware issue than a... You know, oh, okay, so it's actually taking us to a gate, not a ramp. So, it's going to be interesting. How is the gate going to work with such a tiny plane? I know they can lower the gate. Alright, in the meantime, let's now do the checklist to shut down the engines. Actually, it's fairly, I think it's pretty easy to shut them down. You just kill fuel. But, you know, we'll follow the checklist to be professional. Okay, in the meantime, aircraft, post-flight, after landing, shut down, parking brake is set, exit lights, taxi, or no, don't need the taxi lights. Okay, I don't want to turn off the avionics, because actually, yeah, avionics, we can turn those off. Alright, pull that back to cut off. Generators are off. Keep the no smoking sign on. Alright. Meantime, let's request ground services. And I don't want boarding to start, but I guess that if it connects the... I don't want to get passengers on board, but I mean if it connects to the jetway and it looks professional, that's fine. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, there's a bus that appeared here. Okay, yeah, so this is actually fairly realistic. Well, this is better than how it was, and okay, and that jetway isn't even connected. It's literally not even connected. But I will say this is more realistic than an FS-20 because the bus pulled up and the stairs went down. So how it would work in real life is they would just, yeah, you would get off the bus and just walk onto the plane. That's how it was before there were, you know, jetways. And jetways weren't really a thing until the 60s, to specifically 1959. But not a horrible flight. We have a beautiful sunset into New York, and you can see the skyline in the background. So I am going to get a shot with the drone. I am going to get a drone shot of that. Nope, I don't want that. Yeah, so... Damn it, and the skyline disappeared. Alright, this will be a good screenshot. Well, you know what? Let's put the door up so we can actually request... Alright, let's get the door up. Alright, so all the passengers are off the plane now. Alright, passengers are off. We have a good shot of the skyline. So the skyline kind of... It's kind of... Oh, yeah. That is going to be in my Discord, so... Flight simulator. Yeah, so you got a beautiful shot of the skyline. Alright, in the meantime, though, this has been a great flight. A great evening commuter flight from New Hampshire into New York. Been a great flight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. But anyways, I guess that wraps up for the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and please subscribe if you guys want more streams like these, and have a good day.